Evan stood on the rooftop of his apartment building, hands gripping the railing, the wind tugging at his hoodie. Below him, the city pulsed. Honking cars, glowing windows, people moving with purpose. Everyone seemed to know where they were going. Except him. He had 2 degrees, 3 part-time jobs, and 0 clarity. He prayed, fasted, journaled. God, what's your will for my life? But the heavens? Silent. This is a story about wanting to follow God, but feeling completely lost in the process. Evan wasn't lazy. If anything, he tried too hard. He read Proverbs like a business manual, took personality tests, spiritual gift assessments, made 5-year plans, 10-year plans, backup plans. He watched sermons titled, How to Discover Your Calling at 2 a.m. Listened to worship music hoping for some divine lyric to jump out. He even started asking strangers at church, how did you know what God wanted for you? Evan, trying to sound spiritual. Person giving a vague answer like, I just knew. Nothing worked. The internship he prayed for, ghosted. The ministry he applied to, rejected. The dream job, went to someone who didn't even believe in God. Evan, refreshing his inbox, getting rejection emails, slumping onto couch with the Bible open but unread, he started feeling defective. Maybe I missed my window. Maybe I'm too messed up to be used. Flashback. A memory of him messing up in high school. Drinking, fighting with a mentor, some past mistake he thinks disqualifies him. He was doing everything he could to please God. But what if God wasn't saying anything? Because Evan wasn't good enough to hear it. Then came that week. His grandma, his prayer warrior, passed away. His best friend moved out of state, and the one thing he thought would open, a Christian media job he thought was perfect, fell through the day before the interview. Evan, sitting in his car in the rain, fists clenched, crying into the steering wheel. Evan, out loud, you want my life, God? Then what are you doing with it? I'm trying so hard. He screamed in that parking lot. And for the first time in years, he stopped pretending to be strong. Later that night, Evan dragged himself into a coffee shop. Hood up, head down, he didn't want to be seen, but God saw him. An older man nearby noticed Evan's red eyes. You okay, son? The older man asked. They talked. About life, about waiting, about how confusing faith can be. Then the man said this, God doesn't always hand you a 5-year plan. Sometimes he just gives you himself and asks, will you walk with me today? It wasn't flashy, but it pierced Evan's heart. Something changed. Evan stopped obsessing over the grand plan and started doing the next faithful thing. He showed up early to church, not to network, but to clean. He called a friend who was struggling and listened. He stopped scrolling job boards every hour and started spending quiet mornings with God. Evan, sweeping church floors, laughing with kids at youth group, praying while walking in nature. He wasn't chasing the will of God like a treasure map anymore. He was walking with God, and somehow that was the will. 6 months later, Evan got an unexpected call. A local nonprofit needed someone to lead a youth mentorship program. It wasn't glamorous, it didn't come with a title, but he felt peace. Not fireworks, just peace. Evan still doesn't know where he'll be in 5 years, but for the first time, that doesn't scare him. Because he learned that knowing God's will isn't about predicting the future. It's about trusting God in the present. God's will isn't a destination. It's a daily walk. Walk with Him, and you'll always be where you're supposed to be.